LambdaGeneration.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of All Things Lambda, the community show where we're glad that we're not covering Bethesda or Blizzard news, because oh boy, is there something going on there. Anyway, let's just get this video started. So, it's almost been a year already since MMod was finally released to the public. Yes, a year. Dude, I remember covering MMod like it was a week ago or something. Damn, we've come a long way since then. Anyway, the silence was broken last Thursday because Gunship Mark II has released update 1.3 of MMod, and it introduces a whole buttload of new features, animations, and shaders. It also has a plethora of fixes. The new features include new models for the SMG-1, pistol and crossbow, new animations and sounds for a bunch of weapons, improved dynamic lighting effects, and much more. Some of the fixes include a lot of optimizations, improvements, and fixes, and the mod has been moved over to the Source SDK 2013 base for even more optimizations. There are more fixes than just optimizations though, but you're better off reading all of those yourself because it's quite the list and they can get very specific. I've left a link in the description below to the full news post. Alright, I'm gonna play MMod now. Wait, hold on, I got a video to make. Damn. Last week we covered how Valve has released a new fix for some mods that are flat out now running in the public beta. However, I quickly inserted this segment, yeah, this one right here, to let you know that the fix will become available as an official patch very soon, as confirmed by Michaela on GitHub. So if I were you, I would dust off your gold source mods and get your body prepared. The modpocalypse is almost over. Even though it was just for a few weeks. To celebrate Counter-Strike's 20th anniversary, Valve has released a new crate called the CS20 crate. In this crate, there are several really cool-looking community-created skins for you to collect and apply to the weapon you get it for. Some of these skins are actually based off of Half-Life textures, which is why it's relevant here. We got a Scar with a Black Mesa blue container texture applied to it, a Vamas with a red Black Mesa container texture on it, the classic knife from the Counter-Strike 1.6 days, and a MAC-10 with a metal/yellow and black pattern over it. To get these skins, you must open the CS20 crate that you can buy or obtain in-game with a key that you can buy off of the marketplace. If you want to see all the skins in this crate, check the blog post link below. I guess this is probably a feature that a lot of people were waiting for. Steam Remote Play Together is a new feature Valve released in beta last Monday, which enables local multiplayer games to be played over the internet. So if you have a lot of online friends that live miles and miles away from you, this feature could be a godsend. The fun thing about this too is that only the host has to own the game. So if you wanna, say, play Battle Block Theater with 4 people, only one of you has to actually own the game. Neat, right? You do need to be in the Steam beta for this though, which if you have the new Steam library already in your client, is already enabled. I've left a link in the description below to Valve's news post about this feature. Happy gaming! Sometimes, a project doesn't go as smoothly as someone might expect. Computer hardware issues might arise, or sicknesses could put someone out of action for a good while. This is what happened to the Half-Life Source Anthology, actually. According to the mod's developer, Woody, the project is suffering from some hiccups and delays. This, like I mentioned, has to do with some hardware problems and personal life getting in the way. Since most modders are doing this stuff in their own free time, it's not really that strange that something like this happens, where a project has to take a few steps back in priority. Apart from that though, we're actually not left with nothing. Some screenshots have been shared in that same news post, and it shows some Half-Life levels with increased visual fidelity, especially in the world detail. It looks great. Now, if you want to see these screenshots for yourself, and if you want to show the developer some support, I've left a link in the description below to their official ModDB page. Black Mesa Classic, the Black Mesa demake mod that ports the entire thing into the Gold Source engine, has received a media update where they show off a bit of the progress that they have made. Also, yes, I know how backwards the concept of the mod sounds, but it's a pretty interesting project nonetheless. And they're doing some good work here too. Look at the progress that they've made on Zen. It looks almost completely like it, apart from, you know, it running on Gold Source. They managed to capture the feel from Black Mesa quite well here, even using some of the exact textures from Black Mesa Zen. They have also shown some screenshots of the launcher they're gonna use, and they're showing here what the models of the scientists and security guards are gonna look like. And honestly, I don't see any difference between this and the original models, like they're carbon copies. If you want to see all of this for yourself, I've left a link in the description below to the official news post. Alright, so this is gonna be another quick one. So we covered Lambda 1 VR last week, right? And how it brings the original Half-Life in a VR environment? Well, as it turns out, they have just added Blue Shift support to the mod. Now you can play both Half-Life and Blue Shift on your Oculus Quest. Now, when would Opposing Force be coming to this thing? I've left a link in the description below to the Reddit post about this. Have you ever wondered what the full map of Half-Life actually looks like? Well, wonder no more, because Twitter user Perspective has decided to take on the mission to stitch every single Half-Life map together into one Blender file, and this is what it looks like. Now, we have covered snippets of this project before. It shows your entire mission through Black Mesa, from Sector C to the Lambda core. Everything is here. Now, pouring this over was no easy task because every single material had to be reassigned piece by piece. Now, that is some dedication. If you want to see the full images and scroll through them like I'm doing right now, I've left a link down in the description below to the tweet. Hey, so while you're looking at Half-Life's full map on Twitter, why don't you scoot over to our Twitter account? It's at LambdaGen, and we post content pretty much every day there, so I really do recommend you go and give that a follow. Also, don't forget to join us on Discord. There we can continue the conversation, and all of our other social media links are all down in the description below. How convenient. Oh, and my Twitter and my YouTube are also linked down below as well, so if you like me, for example, you can go ahead and follow me on all the different platforms as well. And with that, I'm going to end this episode of All Things Lambda. I'll be seeing you guys next week, but in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe and to ring that bell icon to never miss another episode. Salutations, and take care. Alright, so now I just turned the camera off.